Good morning, good morning. Hello, hello. My name is Sasha with Ray of Hope, Reiki, and more. This is our spiritual message of the day. I do have an energy healing session later today, so I'll be closed from 10 to 11. I've been getting an obnoxious amount of calls that say they're from Pocatello, but they're actually foreign people trying to scam me. So if I haven't been answering your call, please leave a message. Lighten ourselves some incense. Another thing I do, like when I have the incense ash and my tray's getting too full, is I'll go to my front door. I'll alternate between my front door and my back door, and I'll like tap it in a line across the boundary again where my black salt is, just with the intention for more protection and stuff. If you haven't done an incense in a while, do an incense, because my dreams are still crazy. And I don't know. I don't know if it was telling me that the energy is really weird and thick right now, or if it was telling me it's gonna be. So I'm just gonna cover my bases and protect my energy and home more now. And again later. Okay. So our spiritual message, this is February 4th, is about kindness. Choose kindness over righteousness. Choose kindness over always having to be right. Choose kindness over being defensive. I'm adding all of those. But the need to be right is an unfortunately common feeling in the human experience. The need to be right is unfortunately common feeling in the human experience. I almost like, for me, it's not the need to be right, it's the need to be heard and that you hear my perspective. I don't have to be right, but I want to know that you've heard my side and my perspective, and that I have a voice and that my voice mattered, even if you don't agree with it. The ego wants to be right. The heart wants to be kind. Act from the heart and choose kindness. The heart wants to be kind. The ego wants to be right. Act from the heart and choose kindness. There is strength in the willingness to gently surrender. So it's important to still communicate your truth, but understanding that you don't have to be defensive in conversations that aren't going your way. When you find yourself face to face in a disagreement, ask yourself these simple questions. Is being right really going to serve me in this moment? Will it fix anything? And how can I instead listen with kindness and gently surrender? That's really hard because we're all human. I don't know. Obviously, there's been times in my life where my ego has been more than my heart, right? Like everybody has those moments. I think that we all are justified in wanting to feel heard or understood in what we're saying. And I do think that you have to set clear boundaries and let people know in relationships that you have those boundaries and that something did upset you, but knowing that it's okay to let go and not try to control the other person's narrative. Like, just as much as you want to be heard, they want to be heard. So allowing them to be able to communicate and listening, because you want to be heard. So you need to allow them to be heard and to be open in the conversation and not defensive. Like, hey girl, hey. It's so easy to be defensive, and when we're defensive and we're constantly thinking about what we're going to say next in the conversation for our point of view, then we're not being vulnerable in our relationship, and we're not surrendering to the conversation that's happening. We're not leading with kindness. So instead of being, man, this is really, I'm telling you, light your incense today. The energy's weird. I'm going to end up setting off the smoke detector, and he's going to be not happy at me. Good morning, good morning. Hello. It says nobody's watching. So if I didn't say hello to you, it's because I don't see you. I see Crystal because she said hello, and it could be Matt too, so hello to you too. It could be all the people around Crystal training too, so hello to you. And then I see Laura Lee because she said hello. So good morning. We are talking about choose kindness over righteousness. The need to be right is an unfortunately common feeling in the human experience. The ego wants to be right, the heart wants to be kind. Act from the heart and choose kindness. There is strength in the willingness to gently surrender. When you find yourself to face in a disagreement, ask yourself these questions. Is being right really going to serve me in the moment? I don't really like that, because I do want people to speak their truth. And I know that sometimes that other people aren't going to understand our truth, but we need to be able to at least speak our truth. But we also need to be able to understand when our truth isn't penetrating the other person's thing, and then we need to take a deep breath and a step back and cut our energy off from the conversation and allowing ourselves to be protected. And we also need to gain a higher perspective too, and like understand why, like higher perspective. So like a bird's eye view of the situation. If the conversation is triggering to the other person, can you think of reasons why it would be triggering to the other person? What are they going through that is making them less open to the conversation you're having? What traumas have they been through in the last little bit or in their lifetime that could cause this conversation to be a trigger and for them to be super defensive and not open to hearing you? So being understanding to why the other person would be defensive and blocking the conversation from progressing is also super helpful in leading with the kindness and less of the ego, because you're understanding the human experience. But I also understand wanting to be heard, and it's so easy for us to get defensive when we're not feeling like we're being heard. Good morning, good morning. How can I instead listen with kindness and gentle surrender? Again, by understanding that as much as you want to be heard, the other person wants to be heard, and allowing that to happen, and then understanding which direction the conversation is going. I keep moving this. I'm going to get in trouble. The incense is like, oh my God. It's crazy. I lit one upstairs. I've never seen it smoke this bad. And I had that stupid dream about how the energy was yucky. And now I'm going to get myself in trouble. what I had to do in my last house, because I lit so much incense, especially in my Reiki room. He disabled the fire alarm in my Reiki room just because, which I don't recommend, obviously. And the incense doing something weird. I also like put like protection sigils on the windows, because you know how it's like icy right now. I don't know if it's icy where you guys are at, but I took the I just put it in the foggy windows just because I don't know what's going on. Ooh, good morning. And this is what ADHD looks like. Do not get me in trouble. Okay, come on. Oh, it's so hard to have conversations in kindness. I know I'm not the only one that struggles with this. You may surprise yourself with your ability to choose graciously. If we can gain the higher perspective and understand to lead with kindness, and really try to understand the other person, what's going on? Is somebody sending me negative energy? What is going on? I'm gonna set off the fire. Okay. Sometimes I have to zip my mouth and think before things come out of my mouth. Ha ha ha. Yes, yes, yes. So like trying to consciously take deep breaths before you say something. I think that if you're somebody, and I am somebody who does this because I want my point to be heard, and I want my points to be I want you to see my perspective. And so like I'm trying to think of a rebuttal while we're having the conversation, and then I'm not paying attention to what he's saying per se. So yeah, I think that we have to take a deep breath. We have to get out of that pattern of being defensive and trying to make our point in conversations, and just being like completely 100% truthful and vulnerable, but understanding that the other person needs to be vulnerable and truthful too, and felt heard too. And I think that if we do that by leading with kindness in the conversations, that it will bleed off into that other person's conversations too. Because if they see that you're like, it's almost even good, like this is what I try to do with Cutler, because he's a Gemini. Everybody wants to feel heard, but Gemini's like he wants to know that you heard him, and so I'll repeat stuff back in a different way. Like he'll say, oh, I played with so and so at school, and then I'll be like, and then he'll just keep saying it because he doesn't feel heard. So then I'm like, oh, he doesn't think I'm listening. So then I'll be like, did you have so much fun with so-and-so at school today? And then we can move on in the conversation. So almost trying to do that, gaining a higher perspective and understanding the other person's triggers and wounds and why the conversation could be hard for them. It's so hard to constantly be trying to be kind and like understanding and a healer, and then you're like, but the other person in the conversation isn't doing that for me. So why am I doing that for them? But it will either change their perspective and get them to communicate more vulnerably and truthfully, or you'll understand that you have to surrender and take a step back from that relationship because it's not good for you. Sometimes you have to sit. Okay, I read that wrong. I learned this in my last relationship. Yep. I couldn't find my cup. I'm sure it's in here because this is where I was meditating. Nope, I don't see it. Okay, so that was a great conversation. True kindness over righteousness. I think that we can all communicate more effectively. I'm really not liking the spiritual messages where it's telling us to be vulnerable. I feel called out. I feel sad when I think about being vulnerable. But the things that make us uncomfortable, this is what Spirit just said to me. But the things that make us uncomfortable, sorry, that's Spirit's voice. Because you're nagging me in the background. The things that make us uncomfortable are the things we need to work on the most. Thank you. We appreciate you, Spirit. Okay, I was going to pull from this deck. I don't pull from this deck very often. It's the Woodland and Wardens deck. I haven't worked with it like at all. So if you're still on here, just say you would like a card pull. I'll pull you a card and then I'll have to read the description from the book because I don't, these cards don't, they're not the most helpful. Like you would have to read from the book. So it says the antelope and the wheat. And that's all it gives you. So I have to read the description. I don't get anything intuitively from that. Maybe wheat means you harvest. You, like, I don't know. Jen. Why are you in my dreams, Jen? Why we travel into each other's dreams? Let's see what the other deck says this morning. All right. Okay. Let's see. What does Jen need to hear for her highest good and for any spiritual knowledge she needs for this month, the month of February? What's the weirdest dream? Shut the front door. It says the finch and the peach, and it says romance. So not only am I dreaming about you and a new guy, but you have a new guy you're interested in, and you got a card about love, and now I got a card about romance. Get out of my dreams. I don't want to know your business. Okay, let's see. This is a conspiracy by your spirit guides. It's a conspiracy. Okay. Love is in the air. When the finch and peach appear, the peach, a sweetly scented heart-shaped fruit, has long been associated with fertility, sexuality, and love. And the lively finch symbolizes exuberance, enthusiasm, and excitement. Your vibrancy and charm have led you to a blossoming romance. Be open to and accepting of new loves, many delights. Of new love, love's many delights. How do I show others I love them? And do I feel safe and supported enough to be open to new love? Girl, get you some. See, this is what I mean. Like, me as a friend, I want Jen to take a break. I want her to be alone, and I want her to find herself. And then Spirit sends her, like, that's my ego, that's me. And then Spirit's telling me she needs to get with that romance. With that new guy. Be open. I'm just saying, that's interesting. Yeah, it is so similar. It is. I freaking love it. You can't make this stuff up. You cannot. Like, I don't know how that just happened. So I've got Crystal. Good morning. Are you a Gemini, Pam? Well, hopefully people know that you need help being validated. Do you want a card, Pam? I'm doing free card pulls this morning. I didn't want nothing. Exactly. I feel like you needed a break, girl, but there's a reason this man is here. And even if it's not for like a long period of time, there's something he's gonna do to help heal your heart from past relationships. There's a reason he's here. I guess you don't get a break. Crystal. From Crystal's Spirit Guides of Love and Light, what does Crystal need to hear for this month? What will be the best advice for her highest good? Oh no, it's a butterfly. We know what that means. The butterfly and the snowdrop. And the snowdrop is the flower of Imbolc, which we just had. And it's a blue butterfly. Well, be open to it. Spirit says be open to it. Have a good day. Do you want me to pull you a card and you can rewatch, Rochelle? Pam. I'm going to put Pam P. Jessica D. Good morning, good morning. This is for Crystal. Now I need to find it because I don't know Roman numerals, so it might take me a minute. Is it really hard? Okay, I got you, Rochelle. The butterfly and snowdrop, two symbols of spring, remind us that winter will soon end and hope is on the horizon. Butterflies develop through metamorphosis, transforming from an egg into a larva, then becoming a pupa or chrysalis, and finally hatching into an adult. The egg stage is so humble, and the full-grown butterfly so astounding, the process can feel like magic. The snowdrop has a bit of magic about it as well. It is one of the first flowers to appear towards the end of winter, signifying that brighter, longer days are just around the corner. This is a period of hardship is coming to a close and better days are ahead. Take heart in signs of the coming thaw. And then it says, what gives me hope in times of scarcity? I think that's a beautiful one, Miss Crystal. You and the butterfly people. And then the Imbolc flower. Oh, very cute. I've got a Zoom meeting at 9, gotta run shortly. Well, thank you for being on here, and thank you for chit-chatting this morning. Thank you for visiting my dreams and telling me about your new romance that I didn't know anything about. Miss Pam. Pam. I don't... whatever that was. We would like Pam's Spirit Guides of Love and Light to step forward. Allow us to give her the best advice possible for the month of February. Ooh. The marten and the foxglove. I'm pretty sure foxglove is poisonous, isn't it? Isn't that what women used to poison their husbands with? I'm not sure. And it says mischief. So let's find that. Mischief. You're definitely giving off Loki vibes. Loki. I know, Crystal. I'm excited for you. Weird dreams, let me know. I will, because I'm like, why am I dreaming? What is this? That my first thought, like I'm messaging her at 7 a.m. I was dreaming about this and this. Okay. So Miss Pam, the Martin and Foxglove represents the archetypal trickster, the light-hearted mischief maker, the lover of chaos and spontaneity. Martins are a type of weasel known for their curiosity and quick movements and occasionally aggression. Romanian folklore tells of the martin playing tricks on horses, braiding their manes in the night so they wake to a tangled mess of hair in the morning, and foxgloves are said to be the homes of fairies. Another elusive and mischievous creature. For this reason, they are associated with riddles and secrecy. Pay attention to opportunities for spontaneity, travel, and playfulness. A bit of lighthearted mischief, so long as it doesn't hurt anyone, can be healthy. And then it says, do I embrace spontaneity, and can I learn to let go and make room in my life for more adventures? Do I believe in fairies? Yes, I do. I do believe in fairies. I told you, and fairies and Loki energy, fox energy, they're all super connected. So a lot of the times when you can tell like mischief and fairies are around is when stuff goes missing. Your nose gets super itchy. So this may be calling for you not only to be spontaneous, but maybe, I don't know how spiritual you are, Pam, but to maybe even make a fairy offering altar if fairies are at play in your house, especially if you have a lot of stuff going missing and you're wanting the blessings from the fairies. Instead of like leaving them gifts and stuff, you can make like a little sparkly altar with sparkly things, and they really like oils and sparkly crystals and stuff if you want to work with fairy energy. I'm not quite sure which goddess works with a ton of fairies. Also, I'm pulling up as Aphrodite in my third eye, so I don't know. But be spontaneous. Be spontaneous. Miss Jessica. Love it and fairies. Perfect. Connor is very special and he works with fairies, and I need to redo his fairy altar. Maybe that will help, because maybe I need to call back the fairies that were protecting him, because he's been having a hard time sleeping. And he's up bright and early in the mornings. They say never to thank a fairy, because then they feel indebted to you. So the way you thank fairy energy is by leaving gifts, because they also leave you gifts. Okay, Miss Jessica. Jessica. Honestly, girl, it's what's going on right now. I'm at a 0. I don't know if you have autoimmune issues, Rochelle, but I have autoimmune issues. Troy has autoimmune issues. A couple other clients that I have autoimmune issues, and we're all struggling. So it's the energy right now, and then we're not resting while we sleep. So try to call back your energy at nighttime, setting intentions to call back your energy and try to get rest. But it's really hard. Miss Jessica, spirit guides of love and light, please step forward and allow me to give her the best spiritual advice for February. What cards does she need? This one? Well, you made me pull 2, so which one is it? It says you know which one. The rooster and sunflower. Well, hello, good morning. Good morning. The rooster and sunflower. We've been talking about the chickens and sunflowers, so that's why Spirit was like, you know which one. We're just all hanging on for the ride. The energy is low because the world's being weird. Is the Morgan the queen of the fairies? Maybe Pam needs to look into the Morgan. Eat eggs. You can fix a lot with just the food you eat. You can. You definitely can. Drink lots more water. But I do think a lot of it is the energy right now. Especially if you're very intuitive and like a healer. So, Jessica. This is the card of the good leader and the kind king. Roosters wake before the rest of the farm, alerting everyone to the rising sun. They are protective of their territory and self-confident, but they are good communicators, honest and capable. The sunflower is often the tallest bloom in the garden, rising high and turning its face towards the sun. While it may hover over other flowers, it bestows warmth and joy on any garden. You are well suited to positions of authority, remembering that clear and open communication is key to a successful leadership. And then it says, how can I improve my communication? And what style of communication do I admire in others? That would be, oh, it's a beautiful fairy. Shut up, Pam. No way. So the fairies are wanting to work with you. You should look up the Morgan too and see if that goddess resonates with you. I believe I have a YouTube video on the Morgan that's more in depth than the reel that I make. Like if I make longer videos, I try to put them on YouTube so that you guys can just go into like a section, a playlist, the goddess playlist, and you can find the Morgan and see if that stuff resonates for you. Yeah. You can increase your vitamin D. Like everyone should be taking vitamin D. Because you're not ever going to get the amount of vitamin D you need from the sun, especially in winter. I love that it says $3 on the bottom. It's not for sale. Now, Rochelle, let's see what it says for you. Rochelle. Jessica, I hope that fits. I also feel like because it gave me the sunflower, to me, sunflowers remind me of friends. And you need to spend time with a friendship so that it may raise not only your energy, but their energy, because you both kind of need each other in this time. Please see attached chatter for February. We have parent-teacher conferences this week. Rochelle. Calling Rochelle's spirit guides of love and light to come work with mine. May I give her the best intuitive message through these cards for the month of February. This one? Ooh! Ooh. The squirrel and chestnut. The squirrel, it also low-key vibes and fairy vibes. So let's see what this one says. You are welcome. Okay. To ensure sustenance through the winter, the squirrel buries its nuts, hiding them from other squirrels and predators. Chestnuts, small nuts that grow into large productive trees, are symbols of abundance. Together, the squirrel and the chestnut remind us that careful preparation will often yield riches. You have prepared well and can expect to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Your resourcefulness and foresight will be rewarded. And then your questions to ponder are, am I prepared for the future? And have I been working hard to achieve my goals? So this is a very like prosperity and abundance card. It's a very earth magical card. I feel like they tell me that you're working really hard towards something, and then I see March as the month that it comes to be. So if you're working towards something, keep working towards something, because I feel like March is when the blessings start really pouring in from the hard work that you're doing. That was for Miss Rochelle. Rochelle, I have time to do 1 or 2 more, and then I've got to hop off here and prepare for my Reiki that's at 10. Morgan Le Fay. Thank you, Crystal. Because they're different, aren't they? Or they're the same. I don't know. We're kind of confused on that part. It's the same thing with the Egyptian goddess, like Beset. And there's like 2 other cat ones. They're all very similar energies. And like one of them like is split into 2 goddesses, but the same goddess. It's really weird. Does anybody else want a card before I get off of here so that I can prep for my Reiki? I'm about to hop off. I'm about to hop off. Communication. That was our spiritual message of the day. To communicate more effectively, to understand that the other person needs to feel heard and understood too. And that they're going through traumas and trials, and like if you're triggering them, to try to take a step back and see why you're triggering them, and if there's a way you can go about it differently. And then if you need to step back in certain communications with people who might be toxic because they're not understanding. Like you don't have to constantly push your ego onto somebody who's never going to understand. They are the same. Others say they are different. Exactly. And if like, it's just, it reminds me very much of the goddesses that are the Egyptian cat goddesses, because that was kind of confusing to me. I hope that you all have a beautiful day. Maybe on Instagram, I'll put if you didn't get a card pull, if you go over to my Instagram, I will put, I can do you, Nikki. I will put on my Instagram that if you're rewatching on Facebook and you didn't get one, I'm going to put on my Instagram so that you guys will go over there, and then I'll make short video replies to pull you a card. That way I get more following on the Instagram. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Miss Nikki. 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 You're obviously new. Last time I checked, really appreciate it. I'm on vitamin D now. Thanks for the read. No problem. It's so hard being tapped in. Yeah, I get it. A lot of people say when you tap into your spiritual gifts that you can shut them off, but you can't really shut them off fully. Nikki, your spirit team is telling me you're a witch. Your spirit team is saying you're a witch. You're a witch. And your crown chakra is open. Okay, Nikki. Callings Nikki's spirit guides forward of love and light to give her the best spiritual message for February. This one. What? This is the first card I pulled before we started the live, and you weren't even like, I don't know if you were on here yet when I was... Apparently you needed to hear this one. Let's see if we can find it. It's the antelope and the wheat. Where is the antelope? There's a spider, there's a bear, there's a... I think that's a moose. That looks like a salamander, a vulture, a crow, skunk. Did I pass it? A wolf. Oh, that's the cutest little thing. There's a fox. Oh, there it is. It's right before the butterfly. Love you, girl. Have a good day. Antelopes are associated with community. Traveling in large herds, they work together to detect predators, locate food, and care for the young and old. See the witch. This way, the group supports the thriving of each individual. Likewise, golden sheaves of wheat are ancient symbols of prosperity, a relatively easy grain to grow, store, and convert to flour, and a staple crop around the world. Wheat is closely associated with wealth and abundance. Together, the antelope and wheat call us to nourish ourselves and our communities. You are feeling fulfilled, nourished, and secure. Celebrate your good fortune by sharing it with others in need. Invest in your community and ensure you are supported in leaner times. So like when I say you're a witch, I don't know how spiritual you are, but it means healer, in case I'm scaring you with that word. And it's talking about you sharing with your community, so healing your community. Abundance doesn't necessarily mean like money and wealth. It could mean your abundance in healing, and like your voice helps heal other people. Who or what makes me feel nourished, and what fills my proverbial cup? So that is your spiritual message. Okay, y'all. I hope that you have a beautiful and amazing day. I hope that you are able to see lots of blessings throughout your day, and that you at least spend time saying 3 things that you're grateful for, so that you can lead with gratitude in your family and in your home. You ask your kids this, you ask your husband this, you really push for the positivity, so that when things get hard this year, it will be less hard because you've already been pushing with the gratitude. We do have a sound bath this Thursday where I am doing a guided meditation in Imbolc. I think so far we only have 1 or 2 people reserved. We did just get new memory foam mats, which are amazing. I think it will make you guys a lot more comfortable on the floor. Turtle Island. You are welcome. You have a blessed day. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.